So let's assume you are a law firm and one of your clients has exactly that problem because you're a law firm focusing on financial services, and your client sends you a big zip file. And the request is as follows: can you please review 1,000 contracts according to DORA and let us know what we should do? So we would all love to read like Michael Ross. Unfortunately, we can't. So reading at scale, going through 1,000 vendor contracts, it will require time. We don't want to say no. And here's the good news, we don't have to, because Gen AI changes the game of how we bring AI to play. So I want to show you how you can change that. And when I say you, I really mean you, like you and your team. You can change it in minutes. So let's jump into this. Number one, upload the documents. So we open the extraction agent page and we go into our document management system and we just open a folder for our vendor agreements. So for this demo, I have prepared a sample of some sample agreements on third-party vendors. These are companies like the ones we use, some vendors that you all know. And we have the contracts in here. You can see them here. You can scroll through it and you see the master service agreement. So step 2, we now start using our contract agent for this. So we jump into the review and we start creating a project. So we call this project DORA. We give it a test description, and then we add the contracts for the review. So here we go into our master service agreements and we just upload the contracts to our project and we click go. And now we start our review. So you see here on the left your master service agreements and you see the columns, and now we go define our queries. In this example, we have to do it for the first time, but imagine you do this for several clients. You only have to do it once, but you can be much faster. So in our example, I want to show you how we do it from scratch, so you really see how fast that it goes. So we will just do 3 questions. In the reality, you will probably have more to review, but we will go through 3 examples that we will do. Number 1, what is the ICT service that we're actually talking about? And we add in a question, for example, is there a full description of the ICT services, including conditions around subcontracting? That's important. We can also do different things because we can, for example, add a clause that is just giving us a yes or no. For example, if we ask for the data treatment. So in the data treatment, we have to ask, is there a clause that in the agreement that ensures the availability, authenticity, integrity, and confidentiality of all the data? And here we want our answer format to be a simple yes or no clause. Maybe add a third one just to give you an example. And we want to know the date of the agreement because this is one. What is the date of the agreement? And here we just add a simple formalized data output. So we run the agent by clicking on run. And now we just sit back and watch what has happened. So the tool will take the information and go through the questions here and provide an answer. In the past, until now, you would have to train for every question. This is a problem because DORA regulation is a recent thing and the EU just came up with this last year. So the problem here is that most providers don't have pre-built DORA review questions in their data sets, which means that you would have to, for your contracts, train specific data fields, or if it's in specific languages, even train it on your specific languages and type of contract, which of course means a lot of investment. This is faster now. So see the results we're getting here, and I will show you how the tool already works. So we get answers in a grid review here, and in the grid review, we can then click on each answer. So here for the first one, our question about the ICT service description, we can click here and we will see that there is actually not a full description of the ICT services and that there are some conditions around subcontracting mentioned, but it's not as complete as we thought it would be. So this is maybe one where we want to review now our amendment and change it because we're unhappy that this is as complete as it should be under the Act. The BRYTER software works in a way that you see references to each of the mentions, so you can check whether this is actually correct and accelerate your review process. So in your case here, you're actually faster and you can basically see whether or not the information is enough or not. Here in the field of data treatment, we also have a no here, but in, for example, the contract with Gainsight, we would click here yes, and it has actually a clear provision about data treatment. So we will actually be able to see this in the referred question and click on it and jump to the exact provision of where this is contained. So you understand what is happening here. We have this front end to allow you to go through the contracts at scale. The AI does the reasoning, the software guides you to the finding. We even have a dedicated verification screen, so if somebody on your team does that, they can go into the verification screen and actually go through every contract one by one, check for the clauses, and then verify whether this is correct and whether the AI has done its job properly. This is an example with 10 contracts. This is what you're now doing with 1,000 contracts. Some customers of ours, they use this for their classic DD, documents in employment, in real estate. But in DORA, this is golden because people have a deadline. So I go back to my example at first. What do we have to do? We have to review the contracts, and now we have to write an addendum. And all of this in maybe 3 minutes per contract. We need to be fast. So we have reviewed this. Now BRYTER helps you on a second step to actually create an addendum to this. So for this, you go into our second part of the workflow, and you see here that the information we extracted from the documents is available in the BRYTER platform. So this one I set up prior to this demo, just because we do document automation, so you don't have to do this live. But you set it up once, and then you review all of your contracts in here, and you just click on Send an Addendum. So I will do this here for this agreement, and we will create an addendum on that contract to actually provide information to the party that we need to maybe add this to the contract. So our document generation engine is running. We are getting a proposed addendum in here where it says this is the AEBSE, and we need to add something to the addendum based on the DORA review process. So we can actually summarize our addendum here, generate it, and then check whether this is correct, and then send the addendum to the party to actually add to the agreement. If we think that this is too automated, we can also just store it in a folder and then actually contact the parties individually. But like this, you already have generated the document that you want to give back to your client. I'll pause here. What has just happened? We reviewed 10 contracts at scale, and then we generated an addendum with a click of a button. The time for that, including building, was a couple of minutes. Imagine you had the grid built once. You process these documents at scale. You will be under 3 minutes per contract, and that allows you to process your 1,000 contracts in a faster way. Thank you very much for listening. That's a special agent series on the special agent for DORA. There are many other special agents to discover on BRYTER, and I'm curious what you will find out, what you want to do with the extraction agent yourself. So feel free to reach out to me or to the team, and see you next time. Bye-bye.